What's up, ladies? Welcome to another episode of To the Core, my Friday episode of the Revitalized Womanhood podcast. Happy Friday! Oh my gosh, today has been such a good day, and I can't believe it's so late already. And I literally was sitting here working and like thinking, la 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 la, it's still early. And I looked at the clock and it was like almost 3, like 2:40, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I have something I have to get to the post office. It has to go out today by 3, and 3 is the cutoff. So I was just like zipped out. I was sitting down to record this actually and was like, whoop, never mind. Never mind. But today has been so good. Actually, my last couple days have been so good. And I want to talk to you about that today. But first, let me tell you this. Today is a day of renewing. It just feels like it. It's just in the air, right? Spring cleaning is coming. It's coming. It's going to be around the corner. But my husband and I have been both feeling very like crawling out of our skins in our house because it's overflowing with stuff. Like we had just accumulated too much stuff over the years of living there. It's a small house and we're getting, our boys are getting bigger. Our family has grown. So obviously, of course, we've accumulated more things, but just like it does. And we've just been traveling and haven't been able to be home and declutter the way that normally you would. Like I remember with Castle and Hayes, we would, I was very good about, okay, these clothes go out during the season and then these clothes come in this season and hang these clothes up and now put these clothes away. I was so good at that, which was years ago because it would have all ended when Hayes was 2. But anyway, I was so good at that. And now they probably have all the seasons in their closet right now and probably even different sizes that don't even fit them anymore. Oh my gosh. You guys, this is what I'm talking about. So anyway, today I just talked to Rick and I said, what are you guys doing? And he says, we are going through the house. We are cleaning, which Rick and I had made this decision to. We have our kids' spring break coming up and we actually booked a couple nights in Vegas to go and have, a little mom and dad time that's so needed because Rick's been, gone hunting or I've been working and then he leaves to go hunting again. And so we're just kind of like ships passing in the night. So we were so looking forward to this trip to Vegas. But anyway, we are shipping the kids off to grandma's house and we're going to stay home instead and have a staycation in our own home. But what we're going to do is send everything we can to the DI. We are going to just go through it, get it done, right? It's going to feel so good. But anyway, so we had already had the plans to do this. The kids wouldn't be there and, we could just do it ourselves. But apparently he's at home right now with my boys starting. So I am really excited to go home. I'm so excited to go home and see how much they've done. I want to start with reading this post that Rick posted, this post that he created today on his Instagram, because it actually doesn't go perfectly with what I wanted to talk about today, but then it kind of does, we'll move into it. So his post says, comparing yourself does more damage than any other self-destructive habit. Okay, right? Which we all know that, right? The compare game, like forget about it. It's the worst game on the planet. So he goes on to say, I was at the gym this morning working out and a guy was walking by. He had a body type build that I would like to achieve someday. So I stopped him and asked him some questions. He was awesome and very informative of his diet, supplements, weight training program, and just a very cool guy. This post has 2 points. First, if you see someone who looks like you want to, lives like you want to, drives what you want to, works where you want to, has a marriage you would love to have, whatever, go and ask them how they got there, right? 9 times out of 10, they'll be happy to tell you and may even become a new friend or even mentor, right? Second, and the main reason for this post, and back to the gym guy, now this guy's body was insane, exactly how I'd like to look, fit and lean, but with mass, just a great body, right? Body type. I literally stopped him about it. But while we were talking, he kept pointing out another guy across the gym and his build and how that guy had the body that he wanted. I couldn't believe it. Yeah, the other guy was insane, but so was this guy. And here's the point. There's always going to be someone further in the process than you, right? Someone fitter, someone richer, someone who's traveled to more countries, whatever. But that does not or should not take away from you and your accomplishments. To play the compare game is to always lose. Instead, be grateful for where you are, thankful you have gotten this far, and then keep going if it's what you want for you. Look ahead for inspiration and help, not to compare and belittle where you are. That does you no good. This is your life, your journey, and your pace. Be grateful and then grow from there. Start today, and someday maybe you'll be the mentor, coach, or inspiration to help others up the mountain in life. Huh. Right? Woo. Holy moly. I didn't get on Instagram, and then all of a sudden I did, and I saw that, and I was just like floored. Like, babe, I knew you were like smart, but you're just a wealth of knowledge in that little brain of yours. It's so good. No, I know he is. He mentors me. Like he coaches me. So I know what he has to offer, but that was just so profound to me, especially because this sounds so awful, but we are a fit family. Like we have to be. We walk, we travel, we move, we carry bags. We're just a fit family. It's just something we love in our life. So when we're traveling, we either stay at places that we know have a gym or a pool. That became really, really helpful and important because a lot of countries you can't stay where there's a gym, right? You're out in the middle of rice paddies. They're not going to have a gym. So you get places with a pool, and then you can swim laps and still get some exercise, right? That was Rick's. He's pretty smart, like I said. So anyway, we go through these ebbs and flows, right? And so with me, especially, this is a hard thing. So we were gone all of January, which I could have been working out. That's no excuse. I'm not going to make an excuse for not working out. I was having a great time and I'm fine. I'm fine with that. I was not doing it. And then same thing, February comes around and I just hit it here at work. I just hit the ground running, just needed to get a lot of things done. So I really was putting my body, my physical health on the back burner, and I shouldn't do that because just like I say, 4 core categories, you have to have all of them working well, working in unison for you to be working well, right? And to be in alignment. We've talked about that, to be in alignment and have balance. So anyway, I got back to the gym, started March 1st. I started the challenge. Let's see, 4 core categories challenge and #revitalized lifestyle because I am committed. I made a challenge to myself. I am challenging anybody who sees the post. I am committed to showing this lifestyle, showing the commitment to the revitalized lifestyle, to what I'm preaching in here, to my community, to any of you listening. Beliefs, bonds, body biz, right? And body is the most important. It is the most important for so many reasons. Body is like throwing a pebble into a little pond. It has a ripple effect. I don't care what it is you do. You can walk around the block. Give it a good go. Walk around the block a few times. Start by doing it once, and then the next day do it twice, and then a week later do it 5 times. Whatever you need to do. Ride a bike. Take your kids to the park and play soccer. Whatever it is you need to do, move your body. Then your body will release those yummy, amazing endorphins into your blood, and you will feel amazing, right? Anyway, and then in that regard, you will feel better. You will feel better about yourself. Your confidence will start to boost. Your mindset will be more open and positive. And I don't know about you, but when I'm working out, I'm really super focused on drinking my water and making sure I'm eating the right foods too, because you don't want to waste all the time you just put in at the gym. So you're very conscious about that. then your confidence, so I said your confidence is boosting and you're feeling better and you're eating better and you're just kind of, do you notice the progression here? You're just kind of on this upward trajectory, right? And then you're nicer to your family, so you're not yelling at your kids. Then your husband's not feeling like, oh my gosh, my wife's always yelling at the kids. And then you two don't have contention, right? And you're happy and you're loving on him. And then that creates more, mom and dad time. And it's just the cycle, right? Your body is the pebble that you throw into the pond, and the ripples affect beliefs, bonds, and biz. So anyway, that just had me thinking. When I went back, I went to a spin class. So I went to this spin class, and I'm usually pretty good in spin. I can keep up, push myself, regulate, like whatever, regulate. I do well, right? Like, I really like spin classes. So I was not doing well. I mean, it was fine. But to me, for myself, I was noticing that my heart rate was just getting so high and I couldn't control it. I couldn't get it to come down. And sorry if you hear all that. I had to take off I have like 3 layers of clothes on. I have a jacket and a vest, and had to get rid of some. So anyway, I was noticing I couldn't get my heart rate to come down to a place where I felt comfortable to continue to push past it. You know where you're at. Excuse me. And so I was a little discouraged, not terribly, because I'm fine. I know it takes me a minute, but I was a little discouraged that I couldn't get as good of a workout as I was expecting to get, or that I was hoping for myself, right? So here comes the part where I'm telling you the comparison game comes into this. You're not always comparing yourself to other people. You are most certainly comparing yourself to yourself too, right? So I can be thinking, I talk about this all the time because it became so prevalent to me when I had my baby Locke and I had to have an emergency C-section, which was, I'd never had one before, right? I had no idea what it takes and the toll it takes on your body. Not just your body though, your mind, because then you are trapped in this body that your mind has this muscle memory of, yeah, we can do that. Yeah, I know how to do that. Yeah, I can do a crunch. Yeah, I can do a push-up. Yeah, I can do all these things. No, you can't. Your body's like, no, thank you, lady. We're not doing any of that. So forget about it. But your mind is sitting there trapped thinking, it's like, have you ever, is this just me? This might be weird, but have you ever glanced at yourself in the mirror and kind of like, whoa, like in your brain, you still see yourself as like the 25-year-old that you once were? Is that funny? I am to the age where that happens, where I look in the mirror and I'm like, oh my goodness, you are not who I was thinking in my head was going to appear in that mirror. It's fine, but we compare ourselves to ourselves as well. And it's I hate saying that because in some ways it can help you and be good, but in other ways it's going to be toxic, just like if you were comparing yourself to someone else. But anyway, we won't go down that path. So anyway, I was more thinking about the fact of thinking about this in terms of giving myself grace for starting over and putting myself in a place of, it's okay to start over. It's okay to acknowledge that you are not great at something. Or even start something in the first place, not even necessarily starting over, but even starting something in the first place. But it doesn't have to always be this scary, dramatic, beat yourself up. Why our brains decide that it wants to make everything so much more dramatic than it actually is, I have no idea why, but it is, it's true. So the stories we tell ourselves, the stories that we tell others, and we embellish. I mean, our brain just wants everything to sound or seem so much more dramatic than it is. So I left the gym and I was fine, but I was just, it's been on my mind and thinking, wow, I start over so often. Women, men, of course, too, but women, we start over so often. Can you even think about that for a minute? So not even on just your physical journey through life, which you are changing literally 4 times a month. You're starting over. You really are starting over. And having babies. Oh my goodness. How about our bodies, how they change? And it's so amazing and beautiful that our bodies can change. And then all of a sudden, like, zoop, you're supposed to be back. You better get back to normal. You better be back to where you were when we started this. And we are so hard on ourselves for not getting back to normal so quickly, right? I think after I had Hayes, I checked out of the hospital within 24 hours. It hadn't even been 24 hours because the insurance came back and was trying to not pay for me having him. And they said I hadn't stayed overnight. It was less than 24 hours. I'm like, I had a baby. Can you read that? I had a baby. So anyway, I left to go clean a condo. Like, we needed to clean a condo, and hindsight, that was not smart. I should not have done that. That's very terrifying, actually. I could have hemorrhaged. That could have been really bad. Jeez. Anyway, but we convince ourselves that we need to start over. We need to be where we were before we started, right? And so in that respect, we compare ourselves to ourselves. And it's not fair. It's not fair. The point of this was to hopefully help you see that starting over can be an adventure, right? I mean, it can be, if you look at it the right way, starting over can be revitalizing, right? Starting over can be revitalizing. To revitalize, the definition of revitalize and why I actually picked it for this community is to imbue new life and vitality in something, imbue something with new life and vitality. And that's exactly what starting over is. If you think about it the right way, that's exactly what starting over is. I love the concept of starting over with a new day. If, say, I've been yelling at my kids in the day, or have a disagreement with my husband or whatever, and I go to bed and I'm just thinking, oh gosh, I'm such a bad mom. I really shouldn't have done that. But you know what gets me through is I think tomorrow is another day. I get to start over, right? I get to start over. I can do it again. So with me, with this whole journey of traveling, with this whole, our adventures of traveling, that has happened to me over and over and over. In my physical fitness, I will go to the gym and get into a really good routine, and then we'll leave and go travel, and then I'll get out of that routine, right? And then months later come back and start to try to get back into my routine and everything. And it's fine. It's fine. It is what it is. But just give yourself a break, right? Give yourself grace, and it's fine. But just know that if you're looking at it the right way, starting over is something that can be amazing. It may not look like it in the time that it's happening. It definitely probably doesn't. It might be scary. It might be hard. It might be, it might give you anxiety because you don't know, it's the unknowns, right? That's what gives us these feelings of fear and anxiety. I loved it. I don't know if you caught in my episode with Sally Holder. She said, I kind of had set up what was the point where you knew that it was time for a change in your life. Like, what was that point? So how do we know? And she said, the pain of staying the same, the pain of knowing that you're not going to change will be so great that the fear of starting over or the fear of change won't seem so bad in comparison anymore. That's how you'll know. So whether it's the physical pain, whether it's the emotional pain, whether it's that inside of you, something saying, this isn't right. This isn't right. Something feels off, right? Listen to that. Listen to that. So, all right. So I was really laughing at, I wasn't laughing. I was laughing, but because when I saw this post of Rick's, I was like, oh, I had just gone to the gym today. And of course, there was the cutest girl. She was adorable. And she had like the perfect physique for me. Same thing. So it's so funny that Rick and I both had this. He had an aha moment and made it very poetic and beautiful in his post. And I had an aha moment, was like, there was nothing to follow. But so she was in the gym class that I was in, and she was super cute, and she had just like the perfect body type, that what I'm working for, what I'm working on, right? My goals are obviously different than anybody else's goals, but I can look at her and say, okay, I need to know what she's doing, what weights, what workouts, because that's exactly what I'm hoping to achieve. Right? And so it was so funny when I saw Rick's post about that I was like, yep, I get it. I totally get it, bud. I get it. We do that and I get it. So I want to leave this episode with this thought, and it's a really good, it goes with my newsletter that I'm creating for Monday, which this won't come out anytime the same. So if you get my newsletter, maybe you've already heard this. It says, it's by Stephen Prescott, and it says, there's the life you live, and then there's the unlived life in you. So with starting over, I want you to think about that. Is there something that's been going on in your life that you're like, something needs to change. Something needs to happen. Like me, getting back to going to the gym. That needed to change. It needed to happen. I started to feel it in every aspect of my life, that I wasn't moving my body enough, so I wasn't getting all that goodness that I told you about earlier. It wasn't the pebble being thrown in, so I had no ripple effects. And since that started, I have been more motivated. I have been writing religiously in my planner, keeping myself organized. I've been this challenge I created for myself. I'm holding myself accountable. So I'm posting, me doing our plank challenge for our group in the Revitalized Sisterhood, me at the gym, or whatever I'm posting for our 4 core categories for this challenge I'm doing. But starting over, yeah, it's hard. And yes, that spin class was rough. And yes, the boot camp the next day was rough. And yes, but what I'm feeling right now from starting over, and I'm not talking about just physical body, I'm talking about the mindset I'm in. My spirits are high. I've had the greatest last few days. So it's coming out in my home, all of these things. So just remember, in whatever it is that you're looking at changing, whatever it is you're thinking, I'm going to have to start over, or whatever it is you think you would like to start in the first place, but you've been nervous about, just do it. Just do it. Just know that on the other side of this, whatever you're feeling, this uncomfortable, right? This just, I can't quite get there. I just don't want to do it. It's not comfortable, right? And that's the growth. So the uncomfortable is where the growth happens, and you just need to get there, get to it. So I hope that motivated someone. I hope that motivated someone to get back to the gym, get up and move your body, start using your planner, whatever. I hope there was some motivation in there for anybody. All right, ladies, thank you so much. I really appreciate you listening to this episode and being here with me and supporting my message and my community. If you'd like to support me more in the easiest way possible, go to iTunes and rate and review this podcast. And what else do we have going on? The Revitalized Sisterhood Retreat is coming up May 18th to the 21st. So I recommend, if you have been tossing around the idea of joining the sisterhood, even do it, because that retreat is going to be so fun. It is going to be so beautiful, getting together with all of these amazing like-minded women and working on how to better ourselves and getting some more tools, some amazing tools from some experts. It's going to be a blast. I cannot wait. So ladies, if you need anything else from me, come visit me on Instagram at Revitalized Womanhood, or always at www.revitalizedwomanhood.com. And we'll see you next week.